Hey Violet, it's your dad here. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Today's Sunday. That's why I'm all dressed up for church. Anyway, I got more Bible stories for you, and today we're gonna continue learning about Abraham. Remember Abraham and his wife Sarah? So what we're gonna read today is called Three Visitors from Genesis 18 through 21. It was a hot day. Abraham was sitting in the shade of a tree. Suddenly he saw three men standing nearby. Abraham was happy to have visitors. He welcomed them. Let me get you something to eat, Abraham said. He ran to his tent to get food and milk for the visitors. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. Those are the visitors. One of the visitors was God, and the other two were his angels. God had chosen Abraham to be the father of a people who would obey God by doing what is right and fair. Now he had come with special news for Abraham. God said, I will be back to see you next year. At that time, you and your wife Sarah will have a son. Ooh. Now Sarah was standing behind the door of the tent. See? When she heard the news, she laughed. She was an old woman. Women of her age could not have children. God heard Sarah's laugh. He said to her, Is anything too hard for God? The answer was no. The next year, Sarah and Abraham had a son. They named him Isaac. Oh, look at her. Isaac. Sarah could not believe it when she heard that she was going to have a baby, and she laughed. Her baby's name, Isaac, means he laughs. So normally, when women get old past a certain age, they can't have any more babies. So Sarah, that's why she laughed. She was like, how is that possible? But see, the thing is, with God, anything is possible. And next time, we're going to read A Bride for Isaac. That's when the baby's all grown up. But, sometimes it's hard to have faith in God, even after God has performed miracles for us. I know personally, God has done miracles for me throughout my life. And I still sometimes had times where I struggled to believe. But even in the Bible, people that saw miracles, great miracles, from Moses' time down to the time of Jesus. Well, even before Moses' time. This is before Moses. We haven't gotten to Moses yet, but that's another story for another time. But people would see miracles and they'd still have a lack of faith. They'd still disbelieve. So even like Peter was one of Jesus' apostles, and Jesus, he walked on water. That was a miracle. And not only did Peter see that, but Jesus had him come out of his boat and walk on water too. But even though Peter was himself walking on water, he still got scared, and his lack of faith caused him to start sinking. And it was a good lesson for him. So, like, you know, it's just that easy to get discouraged, to lose faith, and but when we do that, we can sink, or we can uh, hinder God's blessings. But that's why one thing I want to teach you, especially early on in life, is it's very, very important to believe. Um, sometimes, sometimes it's very hard in life to believe in someone or believe in God most of all, because life has a way of letting us down. And sometimes when we put faith in something, we can have what are called expectations. And when we have expectations and those expectations are not met, it leads to disappointment and it makes us feel bad. But, you know, some people go through life just only expecting the worst, so that they won't be disappointed. But they forget to hope for the best, and they forget to have faith in things. And so they end up bringing about the worst because that's what they expect. They don't believe in anything better, and so it reinforces itself, and people end up just sabotaging their own lives because of that. Um, but you know, it's something that also goes back to attitude. You remember I said attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference? When we have an attitude, oh, I can't do this, well, then you can't. Not with that attitude. But if you say, have a good attitude and you have faith, and faith in yourself too, you can say, I can do this. And you might not still be able to do it, but at least you've given yourself a chance because you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. Anyway, I'll have a new story for you next time. And I hope you have a good day. And I love you. Mwah.